Hi there, and welcome to Position 1 Power Equipment. My name's Adrian, and today we're going to look at the P4600SP Lawnmower. So I've laid the contents of your packaging out on the table so you can see exactly what you get. First of all, we have the main mower unit itself. There is going to be a little bit of assembly, and attached by its two cables is the upper part of the handle. Now be very careful when handling this not to kink any of the cables. So I'll just place that back there. So that's the main mower and upper handle. Then we have a comprehensive user manual. Now I do recommend that you read this thoroughly before use. And also in this bag is the little spark plug spanner and handle. Then this plain bar is the lower part of the handle. And finally we have the large grass collection basket. And that's the contents of your packaging. Our first step is going to fit the lower handle to the mower in this position here. Now we want to make sure that we don't trap any of these cables while we do it, so I'll just place the top handle over here out of the way so that we're not going to damage any of these cables. On both sides of the mower, here and here, you'll see these orange plastic wing nuts. So we need to remove both of those. And you'll see this U-shaped plastic washer. We'll remove that as well. So I'll just do the same on the other side. That's the two of them removed. And on the other side I've removed the bolt as well. This handle will go on one of two ways. It'll go this way or this way. It doesn't matter which way it goes. And I'll simply place this handle over the bolt in this position, and then place the other handle into the groove on the other side. And again, running the bolt from the inside towards the outside, I'll just locate the other bolt in the hole. There we are. So now I simply replace the plastic washer with the curved side in against the tube and replace the wing nut. So that's the one side done. Now I'll just replace the other side, exactly the same procedure. There we are, just start the nut on there. And that's it. That's the lower handle fitted. So to fit the upper and lower handle together, exactly the same procedure again. Remove the little knob and the plastic washer. And the same on the far side. And I'll remove the bolt on the far side. So now we can bring the upper handle over, again taking care not to trap any of the handles. And I'll remove this plastic packaging from the bottom of the handles. It's basically just like a sticky tape. Very simple to remove. And that's it, removed. So simply place the upper handle over the bolt on this side, and you can probably hold it in one hand just to hold it in position. Back on with the plastic washer, and we'll just fit the wing nut loosely on this side for the moment. Go to the other side and do exactly the same. Line up the two holes on the handle, taking care not to trap the cables. Place the bolt through from the outside towards the inside, or from the inside towards the outside, on with the plastic washer, and on with the wing nut. I can finally tighten that one. And now I'll tighten that one up. So you will find on one of the handles there's a little plastic clip like this, and you simply get the two cables, tidy them up on this right hand handle from the operator position, fit the clip over the top and pop it on to keep the two cables nice and tidy. A little bit higher up, there we are. So that's the handle finished. What we need to do now is to release the tape at the top of the handle. I shall show you that. For ease of shipping, the two operation handles at the top here come bound up with this cardboard. So I'll just cut through the tape on the cardboard and release these two handles at this stage. And at this stage you could remove the protective packaging. So the next thing to do, we'll just remove this protective foil from the top of the pull start cover. Here we are. Now, your lawnmower ships to you with no engine oil in it, and it's absolutely imperative that you put engine oil in the engine before even attempting to start. So we'll go through filling the engine oil next. The engine requires either a 1030 or 1540 grade motor oil and a suitable container to pour it in with. This is the oil filler tube combined dipstick. You rotate the dipstick anti-clockwise to remove it. And you will see on the bottom of the dipstick is a cross-hatched area with the words min and max. Fairly self-explanatory. We need to fill the engine oil until the oil level on the dipstick reaches the max. And when we're testing it, we're not going to screw the dipstick back in. We simply place it back on the top of the filler neck and pull it out to test it. So you would simply fill with engine oil, take this nice and gradually, one step at a time, just a small amount, a couple of 100 ml at a time maybe, and allow it time to run down the filler neck and into the engine before dipping. Should you do it too quickly, there may be still oil in the tube and it will give you a false reading. So fill the engine oil until the oil level reaches the word max on the dipstick. I'll give you a close-up of that. So here on the dipstick, the word minimum, the cross-hatched area and the word maximum here, just until the oil level is on the maximum. Once you've done this, you can replace the dipstick. Turn it clockwise and make sure that it's screwed down firmly. And that's filling the engine oil. So having filled the engine to the correct level with the engine oil, we now need to put some fuel in it. Unscrew the fuel filler cap here on the rear left hand side of the engine from the operator's position and remove the filler cap. I'll just remove this plastic label as well. Now, a couple of little safety tips. Never fill the engine with fuel when the engine is hot. Should you spill any fuel and it touches the hot exhaust, it would be a fire risk. And certainly don't fill the engine with fuel with the engine running. So, fresh, unleaded fuel, and we can simply pour it gently into the fuel tank. Allow around 25 millimeters or an inch of gap at the top of the fuel filler neck to allow for fuel expansion, so don't overfill it. So once you've filled it to the correct level, replace the fuel filler cap, turning it clockwise. Should you spill any fuel, allow it time to evaporate, wipe up any excess before starting the mower. For the same reason, we don't want a fire risk. And that's putting the oil and fuel in your lawnmower. So there are three controls up on the handle here. The third one is the pull starter, which will need to be pulled out of the engine and just fitted in this little pigtail. So we'll just gently pull the pull start cable out of the engine, place it over the top, around from the bottom and into position. I'll give you a close-up of that. So we'll gently pull the pull starter out of the engine so that we've got a bit of slack, place it over the back and the top of this pigtail, bring the bottom through the gap and place it in position. So as you can see, pull starter, front handle, rear handle. Now the front handle is the operator present control, and this needs to pull back to enable a start of the lawnmower and needs to be held back for the duration that you need the engine running. When you want to stop the engine, you simply release this front handle. It's the OPC handle, operator present control, which is basically start-stop switch. So you pull it back to start the lawnmower and release it to stop the lawnmower at any time. The rear handle, this one, engages the clutch, which engages the drive. So basically, when you pull this handle, the rear wheels of the lawnmower start their drive and the lawnmower will pull away. To stop the drive at any time, simply release the rear handle. To completely stop the lawnmower, release both handles and the engine will stop and the drive will stop. So that's the pull starter, the OPC or on-off switch for the lawnmower, and the drive handle or drive clutch on the back. So let's move on to the engine starting procedure. This machine doesn't have a choke, but it does have a fuel primer or starter plunger. For a cold engine, you may need to push this 2 to 4 times. If the engine is warm, you may not need to push it at all, or you may find that you just need 1 to 3 pushes to get it to start. You'll soon get a feel for how many times you need to do it. Having filled the engine with fuel, 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes, it's a cold engine, so now we could basically go to the top handle. So I push the primer 4 times, cold engine, I pull the front handle, and I can now pull start the lawnmower. Once the lawnmower is started, it's ready for use, and you would pull the rear handle to drive away. Release the rear handle to stop the drive, and at any time to stop the lawnmower engine, release the front handle. For a cold start, or warm start I should say, I may need to only push this bulb once, or maybe not at all. Again, pull back on the front handle and attempt to start the lawnmower. Once the lawnmower is running, again, to stop the lawnmower, release the front handle, or to engage the drive, pull the back handle. To stop the drive, release the back handle, and to stop the lawnmower engine, release the front handle. So that's a hot and cold start procedure for your lawnmower. Here on the right hand side of the lawnmower is a single point height adjuster, and it has 6 positions. Number 1 down here being the lowest, and as you can see the deck is very close to the ground, and then it cycles through 2, 3, 4, 5 to the very highest position there at 6. All done from one convenient single place. No spanners or anything needed to immediately change the height of your grass cutting. So that's the single point grass adjuster. Next I'll show you how to fit the grass collection basket. So to fit the grass collection basket, you'll see that it has 2 hooks, one here and one here. And these are going to latch over these shiny springs at the top of this rear flap. So to fit the basket, we lift up the rear flap and hook the 2 hooks over the springs and release the rear flap. And to remove the rear basket, simply lift up the flap and lift the basket out of the way. So that's fitting and removing the grass collection basket. Well, I do hope you found this demonstration useful. For more information on this or any of our other products, visit www.p1pe.co.uk, or you can contact us on 01646 687880. I've been Adrian, and happy gardening.